Terra's on the Phoenix at the moment. Now, granted,
baited the Black Cat save so they can run Mantis.
So you can get out of spawn and set your angles up faster. And if you are actually
a little bit of mind games here, chat. A little bit of mind games.
Yeah, go for it. Black Cat saved. Navi don't play it.
They're going for triple strategist instead with level 1 Crook over on the Loki to go for some of these copies. And Virtus Pro playing the tried and tested 2-2 dive with fire over on this Black Cat to protect it. So Navi, might have played themselves into a winner here, but it could all be to do with the point itself. Right now, both teams are trading these blows. Nobody's actually gone down yet so far, but the dive actually going to come in potentially from Trustly, who just wants to usher away some of this pressure that Virtus Pro are trying to build across this map. A bit more spread out. You sort of see it as a bit of a jump scare for Terra, actually, as you see the Captain America walk his way into the fight. But the eventual
Navi got the first pick. Virtus Pro dying first.
They've sent back some of these players to spawn and have taken point first.
So here's where it gets worse for Virtus Pro, because they rolled out on the counter dive backline of the Luna and the White Fox, but Navi aren't diving. They're just spamming damage with Terra having 24/7 damage.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Virtus Pro is playing like...
opportunity for Virtus Pro to actually get any sort of CC off onto Navi's players, and they're able to pick up the first point cap. Virtus Pro now looking for an in, likely off of Fi on that Black Cat, with Finzi creating a little bit more room to be able to work with, but Navi on a triple strategist lane can just absorb the dive and see Virtus Pro off.
Trust me, he's very keen on actually warding off this area, making sure that this portal control isn't going to be anything that they have to deal with. It means that this front to back is a little bit more stocky. Unfortunately, though, the flying character of Jerky is being shot down to ground, and Banhammer is still going to like go through and onto the target, but the freeze is there, and it's good. Virtus Pro almost dodging around the issue, skirting around.
No one's dying to ults. It's just like neutral fighting so far.
They're down a player, but it's not going to matter too much as Galactic Legend.
Okay, there's the first kill with an ult.
A few more. The focus and the commotion is finally enough for Navi to be sent a little bit astray, and whilst the dinosaurs doing well to make sure
okay, hey, still pretty good, They got 69% on the point first.
Because Navi will have ultimate soon to be able to brute force this brawl, and Virtus Pro have a dive composition which wants to get as much damage off onto Navi's players to stall out their rotations, stall out the ultimate build-up, and allow them to actually start recouping some of this point percentage they're missing. Trust me, going to be farming a little bit of damage, also trying to scout out where exactly Fi will be, chasing him away from the backline, and getting close enough to point that Virtus Pro might have to give up presence around chokes just to stop the back cap.
Yeah, Fi's getting so much information, and this is a clear area the Virtus Pro want to try and go for with just the ult to get that info. But Navi have found themselves the picks again, as Terra has found himself that final hit with the added aid of the Raid of Ultron. But level 1 Crook, he's found himself another elimination.
Navi is looking like a very dominant team, chat. Remember, this is the best two teams in EMEA right now, bro.
A bit more progression on, but they haven't caught up to Navi.
And Navi is looking...
Navi are just forcing brawl.
I mean, it's the first game, it's the first round, but they're looking very strong, dude.
Fi is really strong before the fight starts, when he has all of his fortune and can come in with all of those utilities pressuring out the strategist, but he's just not getting the opportunity of being cleared by Trust Me. Navi now holding the space, double strategist ults will just go forward with the rampage to force Virtus Pro to have to match, which means that Nevix
remember,
falls,
if there's anything that we learned last series, chat, it doesn't matter who wins the first map, because, I mean, a team can still come back and win the next two.
Freedom charge, which is more of a freedom run away, as Finzi wants to try to get out of dodge if he can, but the picks are actually still going the way of Virtus Pro. Anything that Navi has is going to be used, including the Banhammer, Ensong, Inferno. It's whether Terra can actually find the picks in the end, or whether he's just using
was just left out to dry.
These fights. But trust me on this, Deadpool Vanguard has been something else entirely. Virtus Pro can't deal with him head on, and he seems to be just getting so much free reign. A complete nuisance and a wick left for Virtus Pro. A pixel left to try to contest this. It's going to glimmer out and fade away as Navi
Finzi didn't even want to die on the point, bro. He got to protect the stats.
I mean,
no,
Navi
man.
Just baited Virtus Pro.
He's stat padding.
Virtus Pro thought that Navi would rely on a Black Cat composition, and Navi just don't. They roll out on something else entirely. And this is what we say when we look at how Navi play. They're such a smart team in utilizing the ban draft, not just to take opportunities away from their opponents, but on domination, where that first fight, it's so important. Gambling on reading the composition that your opponent is on.
Finzi didn't want to die. He wanted to stay 0 deaths. Bro, Finzi Finzi!
To the utmost
Play
degree.
as a team
Virtus.pro
player,
just
bro.
not on the
Finzi is
composition
dodging
that
the
can break
fucking
through
point
Navi
like he dodged
sustainability,
me in Iceland when I went to go
not
see
match up
him, man.
damage
Listen.
output from Terra,
Finzi.
and trust me, stacked
Who
up with
cares
the
about
Lotus.
stats if you're losing,
But
bro?
they're not changing anything, which makes me think that they want to
No,
stick
man.
towards it. And at least this map, like some of the terrain on Krakoa can lean into this dive, right? There might be a chance here, but Navi are clearly not going to change too much. Virtus.pro still committing to the dive, just with the change of having the Venom.
Yeah, Venom and Jeff, as opposed to Luna and White Fox, which I think is
Why did
actually
he
a
dodge you in
stronger
Iceland? I think it was
opportunity,
sick.
as it means that you're not as reliant on Navi making
I don't know
the first
why.
move
I forgot.
and
It
you
was like a
using
few
CC to
years
peel
ago.
up.
I just know that he didn't come see me.
Sparker has taken a lot of that focus, so the peel would have been pretty handy there. He's trying to get himself into the fray as much as possible, but just look at how much trust me is in his face. Settle down, Sunshine. You're not going anywhere. And it does mean that because of the way this fluid approach of Virtus.pro
Finzi doesn't
playing,
leave his house,
that
it's
Navi
okay.
could
I would
almost submit
dodge
themselves onto the
J2.
objective
You know what?
first. But the slimy way of Sparker being able to play in that fight, he slips
Fine.
away and pulls out the Galactic Legend, is able to find the picks. There's still members of Natus Vincere actually being able to fight around this objective, so it hasn't quite flipped over yet, but Sparker seems to be the one that's collecting these dog tags, confirming these picks, and Navi, one at a time, starting to go down, stalled it out
Man,
in the end.
Sparker's
and
tracking.
It means that Virtus.pro really don't get that much
Sparker's
progression.
tracking is like
instantly
really
Virtus.pro
good,
just
dude.
look
Is this
much
what
more
happens when you guys watch
comfortable
me?
on this dive
Is this what you guys
composition,
witness, like
putting
the perfect
Dritter on the
tracking?
jab so that you can just play out of the
Ah,
reach
now I understand why you
of
guys watch
Navi
me.
while still healing your team and also supplying symbiotic shenanigans. For Nevix to be able to hold his position even with Finzi falling early is absolutely huge. Plus, winning the first fight now means that you can cut away some of the opportunities that Terra has to be able to free fire on Virtus.pro's approach. Jerky as well could come under fire when he tries to go for Rage of Ultron. The Spark has been able to close up the distance, but maybe a little bit too close.
He
as
got
Terra
a
takes
little
him down.
too greedy, bro. He did get him very low health. I thought he was going to die, but...
See the Navi want to try to turn this big pick into a flip, and honestly, seems pretty uncontested up until the very end for Virtus.pro, as the Rage of Ultron was more just to usher and clear out Fire, who is down to low HP. He's not going to be able to help his teammate in this fight. It's Jeff that's going to be used fairly close to the edge. You've got some environmentals, but there's no chance that he's getting away with anything more than Navi flipped the point.
Yeah, Navi now holding all of the space, which means that Terra will be an absolute problem. Virtus.pro are going to be fully reliant on their vanguards, clearing some path of safety for the
I
team.
wonder why...
But that does
one thing I
mean that
noticed
they
is why the
lose
Deadpool's always
reliable
use the
shielding
bank hammer
to hide
ult. I
away
wonder
from
why that
Terra's
is.
damage output. So these
I think it's
rotations have to be
because
very
if you
clean,
miss
but that means
shots,
very
you
lengthy.
do damage to
A lot of
yourself,
point
and it
percentage
does
going
damage
Navi's
over time
way,
as well.
and also allowing
And what a lot of
Level
people
1
do
Crook
when
and
they're
Fake
playing
to
tank
close up
pool is they like to dive into your backline and try to use that ult on a support. So a support has that pressure on them. Like if they miss their heals or they miss their shots, they're taking damage, and also they're taking damage over time. So if the support dies, that's really good, right? Obviously. Because that means less healing and all that.
Navi, but there's enough peel, enough focus. You've forced out the big ultimate from Mantis, and even the end song. Now there's the leap in, going for the freedom charge with a bit of help from the other Vanguard, as the Feast of the Abyss is going to try and chop down and fight a little bit more. It forces Navi to use the copy and then get another Soul Resurgence out, so it's forcing some big things, and Navi might have actually fallen themselves into a bit of a trap as the counterattack from Virtus.pro has come in nicely. Another Galactic Legend, not actually leading to the eliminations up until the very depth of it. Sparker finds that pick, but Navi are now just trying to consolidate themselves, throw in a big dinosaur on point to keep this stalled out in the end, and pushing towards 80% despite the fact that Virtus.pro are looking to win this fight.
Yeah, great play from Sparker holding that Galactic Legend, but Saipe goes low enough, coming under damage of both Rogero, and trust me, that fate of both worlds is actually forced, and that will massively mess with Virtus.pro's ultimate economy plans when it comes to trying to survive up against Navi's Banhammer and Rage of Ultron.
Navi
so
is still stalling the point, bro. That's crazy.
They will be able to pick off the Vanguard Deadpool.
Nice. They stole it
Navi
all the way
were
to
able get the flip off in that
98%,
fight,
bro. That's a
Ryan,
crazy
that
stall.
one
That's
fight
why you die
territory
on
for this
point,
team
chat.
to be able
That's
to
why
take
you
the
play
first
the
map.
objective. Remember, at the end of the
Really
day,
like Navi
it doesn't
were
matter how
losing
many
that fight
kills you got, how
75%
many
and they pushed all the
assists
way
you
to
got, how much
99
healing or
because they
damage
just
you
put
got.
Rogero
It's
on
an
the objective, and him and
objective-based
Trusty just hung
game.
out
If the
whilst
other
rest
team
of his
beats you in the
team started
objective,
to
you lose,
fall.
man.
Means that Virtus.pro really, even if they've had some good fights to take the point, there's very little progression to go off of it.
I mean, Navi are just waiting. They'll go when Jerky gets Rage of Ultron. There's no Galactic Legend available for Virtus.pro to be able to shut it down, so Virtus.pro just have to focus all of their players on taking Jerky out early, which that has been acquired. Navi now going to want to make sure that they get trades.
Uh-oh, that's not the best trade in the end, though, because both Sparker and Fi go down in very quick succession. Portal play might have to be considered, because whilst you've got Finzi doing well to keep this fight going on the objective, him and Venom are not going to last as long as that Dinosaur would have done. Galactic Legend seems to be the cementing piece for Na'Vi to actually be able to take Krakoa again, and there's no chance for Virtus.pro to touch. Na'Vi, in similar fashion to Stage 2 of last year, take this map 2-0, and Virtus.pro baited in the draft.
You have to ask yourself, at what point does it become viable for you to find a slot in ban draft to take out Trust Me's Vanguard Deadpool? Because that was a problem that Virtus.pro just were unable to find an answer for. As Na'Vi won the map, and we have to say it, the ban draft, easily.
It seems that way. We'll see exactly where Virtus.pro want to take us after this.
Well, I don't want to say that I am like the prediction god, chat, but I think I might be the prediction god. What are your guys' thoughts? Chat, what are your guys' thoughts? Emily is not you. Emily voted for Virtus.pro. I voted for Navi. Guess who's winning right now? Guess who won last game as well? Guess who won 5 out of 6 predictions yesterday as well? Guess who has a lot of hair as well? Who's taller as well? Sometimes it be like that, chat. Sometimes it be like that. Imagine if they start doing transfers in MRC. This isn't MRC though. This is MRI. Transfers. What is transfers? You mean like trading players, like off seasons and stuff? What's the whiteboard looking like today? Oh, it's funny that you said that. Well, the whiteboard. I gotta get my handy dandy.
Your bald king.
Cruel Habits, by the way, for 27 months. I appreciate it. And Bep Paulina, appreciate the massive 2 months. So, Pulsar against Rad. I said Rad was winning. I don't know if you guys could see it. Did you guys see it? Probably. This is probably in focus. Rad against Pulsar. Rad won. Navi against Virtus.pro. I said Navi's going to win that. Next game after this is going to be Team Heretics against Fire. I think Team Heretics is going to win that. I think Team Heretics is looking like the 3rd best team in EMEA because I think it's either Navi or Virtus.pro, 1 or 2. I think, in my opinion, Navi's first, Virtus.pro's second, and then Team Heretics will be 3rd. Reason Gaming against Crownfall. I think Reason's going to win that. Poor Crownfall is 0-4 right now. They haven't won a single game. Looking like Chad out there. Sucks to suck. I mean, it's either win or lose, right? And then for NA, it's going to be TSM against YWL. I love TSM, but they seem very lost right now, and so I'm going to say YWL wins that. You have Team Liquid Citadel against STD. I think Team Liquid Citadel is going to win that. I think they're the best team in NA. Swamp Gaming against 100 Thieves. I think that is going to be the best match to watch on NA. Swamp Gaming against 100 Thieves. I do think 100 Thieves is going to get rolled. Hopefully, they got a little bit more scrim codes so they could VOD review those. And then, Nightmare against FlyQuest. I think FlyQuest is going to beat, Nightmare. Yeah, that whole drama is just crazy, bro. Yeah, FlyQuest against Nightmare. I think FlyQuest is winning because they look like a very good... FlyQuest surprised me yesterday. Who did FlyQuest played what yesterday? Sentinels? Right?
Your bald king.
And yeah, they looked really strong.
Ignore the whiteboard.
Professor 3 could do no wrong. Ignore the whiteboard. Bro, I'm 1 for 1 so far today. Carson for 14 months. Appreciate it. Bro, that is crazy that there's like all this drama and stuff like Bro, I think leaking scrim codes... is it, like I said, chat, in the beginning of the day, is leaking scrim codes wrong? Yes, I think it's a very shitty thing to do, but I do think it's not the... I think people are going to do it regardless. I mean, even professional games, when you have like an NBA game, for an example, like, you know, the playoffs, I'm pretty sure what the players do is sit down all in a room and watch fucking VODs and replays and see what they can do that's better and learn the other team's, like, plays, you know? So... Did you see the Chosen One's player harassing a Twitch streamer after he lost a ranked game? Yes, I did see that. I don't know too much about it. I think I saw it on Twitter this morning when I don't really use social media that much. I'm trying to get into it. But a professional player going into another person's chat and being very disrespectful and also, you know, saying, you know, in no particular way, they're just saying to go to Home Depot and buy some, like, supplies, maybe a little bit of, like, you know, you know what I'm saying? You should not be saying that, and you should be kicked off the team, and your pro career is probably going to be done after that. That is wild. That is wild. Yeah, that is wild, man. Jay, best watch party? Hey, what's up, Brandon? Appreciate it. Why did it go to the cat? It went to the...
Just had to show you guys our faces for a second, but
Luna Eclipse! Appreciate the Master Prime sub. How you doing? How you doing?
For those who cross you, command the battlefield in style of Iron Man's Iron Samurai and Mantis.
Like, I don't... Bro, like...
The greeters
it's crazy that kids... Like, are these kids... Some of them are young, some of them are early 20s, or some of them are even mid-20s, but like...
Until July 3rd, so make sure you pick it up.
You gotta be professional, man.
Show them what you are made of, and well, we saw NAVI show VP what they are made of on
Nasty,
domination.
Master 3 months.
It felt like a lot of it was focused around that Bandrift. You guys talked about it a lot during the match, but the main focuses I want to kind of talk about is a lot of teams would try to take down VP, either focus the back line or focus the duelist line. They definitely focus that duelist line here, Moxie.
Yeah, going for Fi, like, even though he had the Black Cat open, Navi's whole strategy was shutting the Black Cat down.
It's still a
which
game,
is why they continued
not for money.
to go even harder,
you know.
going for the Daredevil ban, which would have been the pivot for Fi.
This is a tournament. This is for money.
So Virtus Pro, almost by their own hand, got forced onto the Black Cat composition, and it meant that they were fully reliant on that one. And trust me, on the Vanguard Deadpool, we're just always able to shut it down. So
I'm referring to the pro that went to chat.
Did not really get an opportunity until they swapped comp on the second map.
I mean, I kind of want to talk
that doesn't
about
make
that.
any sense.
Me, of course, being our MVP from that match.
That's like you going to your job, and then you come home and you go to your son's soccer game and you start saying slurs, and then like it goes, you know, people start seeing you and they're like, wait, doesn't that guy work at Target or something? And then they go tell your boss and have videos of you saying slurs. You're probably gonna get fired. Like what?
Micro. Sort of in the server a macro level, and then also really lead in the draft and what the team's general identity is.
You know, people, you're going to be accountable to your actions.
Try and actually flip the point into their favor, and even then NAVI stole the point.
They were talking garbage to each other. No, trash talking is fine, chat, but when you go a little too far and tell someone to end their life over a video game as a professional player, you should probably get yourself fucking removed and banned. Come on, Jesus Christ.
They have to kind of keep moving and give up that space for free.
I mean, what can we identify of, you know, the things that Virtus Pro need to really work on here, Moxie, from these stats?
I mean, I think for Virtus Pro, one of the issues was that they just misread the composition. From NAVI in the first fight of Cradle, like, rolling out on the White Fox Luna is a brilliant team-up and a perfect backline if you want to be self-sufficient against Dive. And that was the whole idea, right? Backline remains self-sufficient so you don't pull resources away from the rest of your team core who will be looking to get aggressive towards NAVI's team. but that just did not work out because Na'Vi did not dive. So the White Fox, the Luna, didn't really have anything to do.
Do you
which
meal
was why
prep?
when we
I do
went to
not meal
second round,
prep.
we'd removed
I
onto
also don't
Jeff
count my
and tried
calories.
to play for just
Whatever I
helping
eat
the
is whatever I
dive,
eat.
helping the
I don't
Venom
really,
have
but
that
I take
extra layer
into
of
consideration what I
survivability.
eat, but I don't meal
the
prep.
thing was, as Ryan
And how many
pointed
times
out, when
a week do you
Virtus.pro
work
won
out?
fights, it was
Depends.
coming off of the back of like
I try to do it like
strategist
3 to 5
ultimates
times a week.
in one go. They had to use Fate of both worlds, It's Jeff, and Freedom Charge in some of those fights because It's Jeff just does not do enough healing to be able to stand up to the output of things like Ensong, and Na'Vi with a triple strategist composition do have all of these defenses that are just able to punch through Virtus.pro's own.
Preseason J3 would say these predictions results are AI. Oh,
specifically, I'm really
what the hell?
curious on,
Jay, let me guess. You told the masses to vote for VP, didn't you? No, I told everyone to vote for Navi.
A lot of times on that Museum of Contemplation in the past, we've seen it throughout every region, right? I just hope we don't go to it this time, Brian. I mean, what are you thinking for this one specifically? Well, okay, Central Park.
Central Park. I think that again, right? Because that's the one map that Virtus.pro took us to when they lost.
J3 is an evil Guangguang agent.
Surprisingly, so it's whether or not Navi are going to be prepared on it.
We'll see if this preparation
I love this
will
music.
be enough for Virtus.pro to turn things around, not get upset yet again, or is it an upset at this point? Because Navi are currently the top of the group and top of the world with that first map. We'll see if they can continue it and get a 2-0 victory against the world champions.
Okay, interesting stat I've just found. Because I have a little thing of like, okay, basically what this is like, oh, Central Park shows up. Okay, quickly, frantically type Central Park. Like, okay, what's the map stuff? Wait. But like, so this is a
well, sad chat. No one answers. I don't think anyone cares about that question or the
defense, and then just
that's why
like, against the likes of Rads, Peps, and such. Navi haven't won on this map at all this year, and they played it in preseason playoffs against Heretics and lost, and then they also lost against Shikigami in groups. So, and obviously, Shikigami were playing the flying comp with the Human Torch. I doubt we'd see that again.
I am slightly concerned, though, because this is a
Jay,
convergence map,
when did they do the Oceania or the China tournaments? Do you just guess in your predictions? Because I don't know any of those teams. Yeah, I guess my predictions. I don't know. I don't watch Oceanic or the Pacific or China matches.
Black Cat, and no surprise, right? If you want to be able to lean on that particular pick, you go to Central Park, because even on the attack, and they do go for attack first, you're going to be able to send the Black Cat all
I have
the way
to do
around
a
the
bet.
point and try and split some of Navi's
if you're doing a bet on something that you have no, you know,
a little bit more value, some more bite to its
research
bark,
on,
as
that's good luck, man.
just meow.
But yeah, usually China and I think the Pacific games are starting at like they
sort of baited it, said,
they happen
gonna
very
protect it
late for me. I don't watch it.
Like, oh, we're gonna one-side it still anyway. So they almost dedicate more resources to getting it on their side. They're gonna ban out the Loki, which I imagine would have to be like potentially mirrored because the Mantis has been protected, and you're looking at Navi thinking they still got pretty good characters on board.
Navi still have Phoenix. They get Mantis Phoenix through because Virtus.pro had to go for the sort of like illusion of choice. Do you ban out the Loki or do you?
You don't want to watch games at 3 a.m.
Which means that the Mantis.
When I have watched all of EMEA and NA games,
Navi as well, triple strategy.
Bro, I would love to watch the Pacific games, chat, but I also really do like sleep.
One-sided Navi as well, removing the
I don't know about
Fox,
you guys, but
they saw that Virtus.pro did run.
But I love
initially with the Luna White Fox, and when teams initially run a composition on domination, that tends to be the one that they actually want to finish the map with, right? That is going to be that comfort composition, or at least it looks like it from the outside, which means that Navi wants to remove some
this
of those
time
comfort
around
points
they
and
banned
make it that they have
Virtus.pro
options
banned the
open
Black
if they want to
Cat,
go for a
but then
dive
also
outlook,
Navi has
can,
banned the
because
White
they still have
Fox.
the Daredevil open to them, despite
Also,
the Black
they
Cat being
do
banned
have.
out. They want to go
They
for
don't
more
have the Rocket
front-to-back
Raccoon, but they
damage
do
heavy.
have
They've got
Phoenix,
Mantis to be able
and
to
they
play
do
with
have
too.
Star-Lord,
Okay, so the
and
biggest
they
question
do
I think
have
for me is, like, does this feel a lot
Daredevil.
more of a stable composition? I guess it's going to depend on what teams try to run out on, and I am seeing a Penny Parker again from Trust Me.
It's real! It's confirmation. Okay, so many people theorized that this was pure bait, this was hiding strategies, that Penny was not actually good, but we've seen in both America and here as well in EMEA that teams believe that Penny
What character
Parker
do you think is the
very
biggest
much
buff slash
viable
rework? For me, it's
just
Widow.
being able to shut Devil Dinosaur
I think there's
down.
a lot of characters,
3
man.
second hard CC cooldown is absolutely wild, and this is also a really good defense up against.
Also,
the
I
right?
started
Because unless
chat.
the
I
Black
am
Cat's able to
loving
flank
all
around
the
back
penny
and
play,
break
bro.
the nests, all
I
Navi's
love
top line has to
pennies,
do
man.
is play on the web heads, and Fi won't have any
seeing more pennies being played or characters being played that are not really meta, I'm loving it.
Champions potentially could have lost 2-0 against Penny Parker because everybody would go, what? What do you mean? But it has been working. You've been right. Virtus Pro are the first to attack this time, and like I mentioned,
we love penis chat.
Making this a very quick turnaround into their favor. But right now they're having to try and push through this Penny.
Oh, they flipped the map. That's really smart though.
Portal to be able to try to break the generator, and trust me, just moves it.
200 IQ. You can't get this in any other region, apparently. So NAVI are like a little bit more vexed, I suppose, on like having to shuffle around. I imagine that the comms are a little bit more chaotic. But Virtus Pro's trying to sort of isolate some of these targets, at least the lines of sights, to get some progression on the point, but it's not amounted to all that much.
Finzi, brother! Come on, Finzi.
Escape and reset if he can.
Oh no, bro. Oh no. 1 minute for that whole push, bro, and they got nowhere. Oh no. What a great defense, dude. Hey, Virtus Pro teleported and flipped the map, and then NAVI went, offense side, and they still able to hold that. That's crazy.
The strange portal play that Virtus Pro had. That was the easy way to be able to try to break the penny mines before you can intrude into Central Park. So instead, they rely on Fi's Black Cat portal, setting them up to take the high ground and close the distance to break generator that way.
Going up, just any routes that Virtus Pro can take other than through the front door they are going to take, but Invisible Boundary is going to try and force up this engagement. The wall's been broken to make sure that there is an escape route if they need to get it, and just allow these strategists to actually cleave through this healing to build up these ultimates at a very fast pace, but nobody has gone down. Never mind, Terra's just gone down, but it has been traded in kind.
Sparker with his ult.
To make the difference with
both of the supports lived in there.
Narrowly just escape his vision, so he has to find a target elsewhere.
Rajaro is taking like some shots and his health is just still full.
Now they managed to regroup, and they're just picking him out of the sky.
Yeah, there's more problems.
NAVI actually managed to hold that. That's wild, bro.
Level 1 Crook had Fate of both worlds. He could have used the Luna ult to be able to let NAVI just walk onto point, but they hold it because they know that they can just walk back into the space. Fi's off of the Black Cat. Might I remind you, Virtus Pro saved
Navi's
trying to look for Moon Knight damage to be able to break the heals of the triple strat line.
Holding their ults as well. You heard that? They could have used their ults, but they didn't because they could just walk backwards and they won the fight by just walking backwards, which is huge because now they have the ult economy.
To route the Groot and make it that Virtus Pro just don't have the Vanguard to set them up.
How often do you see fights happening in there, to be honest? The spiral staircase is now where these two world champions are going to try and collide. And more players from Virtus Pro.
Bro! Oh my god, Luna getting a 3K? No, bro. Can we please nerf Spider-Man, bro? This is just crazy. It's just too broken.
This could be a full hold. This absolutely could be a full hold. Trust me, at least off of Penny onto Venom, got picked, had to come back fast into the fight. So Virtus Pro don't have to worry about.
I do think Luna needs a buff though, especially to her damage. I don't think she actually does enough damage though. Chat thoughts?
Should be able to break through Crook's uptime.
Camille is going to be used now, and there's the pick over onto Fi that's found very little with all of these like deployables that now they can set down. You don't even have a Gene Grey for Virtus Pro to actually break them in the same vein, but Virtus Pro forced to use an invisible boundary pretty much in the mid-ground between their spawn and the point itself.
I feel so bad for Virtus Pro. They're oh, the teleport got stopped!
How has VP let this happen? They're going to be
bro, Virtus Pro's fumbling. They're fumbling right now, chat. Oh my god. Virtus Pro's looking like the Lakers right now in the NBA.
Oh. It's going to block anybody going through. Nobody else from Virtus Pro is allowed to touch.
Oh my god, dude.
49% on the point, right?
I can hear the keyboard.
Virtus Pro is playing like
I can hear and see the Penny Parker.
I don't want to say chat like a silver team, bro. They are getting outclassed, outplayed, outmaneuvered, out-ulted. Bro,
NAVI used it to full hold Virtus Pro on Central
NAVI is literally.
They absolutely did.
Put level 1 Crook on Daredevil at this point, bro. Just put level 1 Crook on Daredevil.
Wait, maybe that like one-sided Penny Parker ban that we saw from NAVI yesterday wasn't natural in the end.
I was telling you!
It was a glimpse into VP's future, I suppose. But now they have to have a stalwart defense, which is not beneath them. They can do this. They have consistently done it against strong
teams.
I
feel so bad, dude.
Virtus
Pro's a really good team, but that just shows you how strong NAVI is.
Vindicated, feeling like, yeah, NAVI is the top dog. Virtus Pro are left scuppering in this series.
Well, Finzy's on Penny Parker. Virtus Pro are like, do you know what? We'll do it too. The difference is that they don't have Phoenix, so Sparker, Hypercarry Duelist goes to the Elsa. They also don't have the Mantis, so we'll have to see if Virtus Pro can actually translate the amount of crown control that they had into eliminations.
This match is going to be on the hub.
There's no
what
way.
the?
There is no way that Jerky... Okay, they're using the strange teleport to get Jerky an angle to be able to break Finzy's generator, as opposed to sending the whole team in. So now if Finzy moves it, the Punisher turret will still be able to actually see it. This is very, very smart.
This is very, like, OG as well, with just, like, the turret setup in the portal. We have seen some cases where the portal... yeah, they're just like, throw the dinosaur in the way of the generator. Don't let him set up. Like, Devil Dinosaur is just too good at being in the way.
No way. What are we watching right now, bro? Oh, he's going in!
Look, he's going in!
He just decided to into the back.
They're trolling, bro! They're trolling!
To create distraction and try to let
my
get
God.
a pick up onto Virtus Pro's backline, because any trade that the attack makes would just allow them to approach that point so much faster than Virtus Pro's strategists would be back in time for.
Hey, I'm not against the whimsy. We've seen glimpses of it, but we've mentioned it multiple times. The meta's going to change, and trust me, has fallen off the map this time. It's 0 days since disaster in EMEA, apparently. And Finzy has actually found a pick onto level 1 Crux, so it means that this fight, you know, have to imagine for NAVI, has to give up for a time as more players are being fluxed through. And these three hanging out, hoping they're not going to be spotted, but this might just stall more time for Virtus Pro in this defense.
Ooh, Terra's going low. Potentially goes down as Virtus Pro sends Sparker up onto the high ground. NAVI have no attention onto the Elsa, which means that Sparker will get away with so much damage. NAVI, though, they're just sort of buying that time, it feels like, right?
Damn, they really want to kill Terra, man.
Building up ultimates. They'll have 6 good to go for when they decide to actually walk to point, to just try and overwhelm Virtus Pro in one fell swoop before a strange teleport can come through.
I mean, that's all they really need, is just one foul swoop with just 50% progression made. And neither team is holding back. This isn't a whimsy game, because the meta is going to change by the time these teams maybe face off in playoffs, so there's no need to hold on to anything in particular. This is just the read that they've got. Jerky finds a very nice pick over onto Sparker, and a calling card is going to come in from Fire. Unfortunately, a hand of Khonshu is going to find these picks to make it a bit even, and now Spider Sweeper has to go in to try and contest, and I can't believe I'm saying that in an actual esports game with the 2 world champions, but Penny Parker might have to be the difference. There's so little time to actually be able to touch that they have to be very particular on which player of Virtus Pro is actually on the point at this point, because there's only 4% differences being made. It seems that NAVI are going to try and
chat, this is really bad for Virtus Pro, bro. NAVI got a tick, so they're going to stay at 33%. They just need an extra, what, 14%? Sorry. 16% and they win?
Fox for sustain as Terra goes back to Phoenix, Jerky onto Star-Lord to try to find a separate approach.
1 minute left though. Hey, 1 minute left. Virtus Pro can't win this. NAVI needs to get their shit together. They need to stop trolling, man.
To avoid both Rajara and Fate Salt.
Now it's down to that final minute to see if Virtus Pro could hold off one of the most spectacular full holds that we might be able to see, but losing Fire might have just jinxed it entirely. NAVI trying to hold back. Now Camille's going to be matched with the Rampage on the other side from Nevix, who wants to try and clamber in, but everybody's been pushed.
They got Saipei. Saipei had his ult too. Oh no, Saipei, bro, Saipei!
Back in on the strange to go for the portal, so anybody going down might have that window to work with, but there's nobody in red over on this elimination feed. It has to be a copy to go for this Fate of Both Worlds to keep people alive, and now it's just ducks in a row for Virtus
Dance,
Pro.
Saipei, dance!
Ensong is going to slam on down for anybody coming through, and it sends back Freedro packing, but overtime is looming. There might be a chance for Virtus Pro to hold on, but they have very little resources to work with, and NAVI still have their foot touching over on this objective. Can they touch? They're going to go for the portal themselves, so those reinforcements are going to try and come back in, and it's still, again, Virtus Pro being coerced and pushed away, and just now holding on with a glimmer if they can. It's a great
Save Terra! Oh, no. Fate fell off the map! Fate fell off the map!
And Virtus Pro about to do the unthinkable in this case. It might just be that for NAVI as they're starting to drop off one at a time.
What am I watching?
Can anybody from NAVI actually be able to
NAVI!
No!
What are we doing?
And Penny Parker.
What are we doing, NAVI?
Free, baby.
What the fuck?
Insane. Saipe goes down. Must have been silenced by the
What
Sonic
the
section coming in
fuck?
from Na'Vi before he can get the copy off onto Fader both.
Bro,
they have
the only ult that Virtus Pro had was Strange. They Strange ulted Terra. All you gotta do is while you're dancing,
comes up, sets up the pick
go dance on Terra, so Terra doesn't die, and then but they let Terra die. Fate jumped off the map. What are we doing? Navi is trolling. They would shotgun Punisher until 6 people, like my ranked teammates are doing. There's what the. You know what Navi just remind me of? Navi reminds me of like that teammate that you get on your team that's like somehow they get their Spider-Man banned. They're like, hey guys, I'm a Spider-Man one trick. I can't do anything else. GG's. And they go fucking shotgun Punisher and zipline. All you see is your teammate zipline into the enemy team 1v6 and he dies. That's basically what I was just watching. Bro. Oh. That is actually so insane that it's 1-1 right now. It should not be 1-1, by the way. Navi was destroying Virtus Pro, man. And they actually trolled so hard they lost. Hardstuck Platish. Appreciate the massive 10. Get the subs on YouTube, my friend. Absolutely insane. I appreciate it.
Bold and dangerous.
Bold and dangerous. All right. 1 second. And then Emily tagged me into this. Add to story. Bang, 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 bang. Nice. That is crazy, man. That is actually crazy. But Hardstuck Platish, absolutely insane with the 10 gifted subs on YouTube, and Hug with 5 gifted subs as well on Twitch. Absolutely massive. Appreciate it. Oh yeah. I mean, they did basically, you know, give us a close game. They did give us a close game, chat. I'm pretty sure they wanted to give us to a match 3. Pretty sure. Navi's coach is probably pissed. I don't think they're pissed. I think they're all having a great time. You guys want me to check the replay? I have to go into like the game, launch the game, download all my shaders, and jump in. Well, we could probably do it in a little bit. Oh, fate. Fate. No, I don't think Trust Me fell off the map. It was Fate. J3 versus Guang win. Oh, chat. I don't think that would ever happen. You know, funny enough, when we went to China for the mid-season finals, we did play against the devs. Some of the devs who created their characters. I don't know if you guys remember that. There was like the person who created Hela, the person who created like Namor, person who created Wait, Trust Me fell off the map too? Oh my god. Oh, the BP creator as well, yeah. That's pretty cool. We'll go check that out in a second. I think Penny's creator there was as well. Yeah, I think it's on my YouTube, chat, if you guys want to go check it out. Trust Me fell at the start of the game and Fate fell at the end. I'll go watch it before we get to the next game, chat, when there's like that huge break between the two. We only have a minute. Listen, I could do a lot of things in a minute, but I don't think I could launch the game and get to the replay and all that stuff. Wait, why did you at Saipei in my chat? Saipei's not even... Wait, what? Bro, why are you adding... Saipei would even not... He wouldn't even be in my chat, bro. We're in the middle of a tournament, chat. The last thing I think the pro players are doing are in my chat, man. Except Fate. Fate was in the chat before the game started, but I don't think they would be here. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me say hi to someone. Hi. There you go, chat. Let me just... There you go. Sorry, that guy's in my chat. I have to say hi to him.
It seems to be the bane of their existence, but Virtus Pro, they have something that they pulled from within their Moxie to never give up.
Yeah, I mean, it's always so tough when teams get full held and you're going into your own defense to not just fall prey to your own mentality and give up. Not like in the sense of you don't play, but your subconscious just holds you back. So huge play to Virtus Pro, and you really do have to feel like the synergy that these players, that this core roster has had with how long they've been able to play with each other, with the fact that when they did not qualify for mid-season, they didn't sort of look for other players to replace, they simply looked to and addressed their
Hi,
own problems.
Guang Guang.
That
What's
mentality
good,
came
Michael
in
Jackson?
clutch
Elon
for them
Musk
to
is
be
here
able
too.
to
What?
complete a stronger defense.
We could have easily been here and been at the end of the series interviewing someone from Navi and be like, wow, Penny's really good. But instead, we got to see this series of craziness happen here. And we were trying to go back and forth here, Ryan, on who the MVP would be. But tell me why it was Finzi.
So you could put Finzi on the Angela, because if it wasn't for Finzi, when he was interrupted trying to portal onto the point on their attacking side, if he didn't swap to Angela and get onto it to contest it, he wouldn't have got the 49% that they needed progression. It would have been playing for a draw and they would have lost because we got to 45% on the side of Navi. But also showed that he could
Do you
play
know
the
when
Petty Parker
MRC is, or am I
himself. Like,
late?
with the
I don't
setup,
follow
it's
MRC, man. I'm
egregious to deal
sorry.
with,
I only do
as
MRI.
we clearly saw with how these teams want to play. It was just most other players would flounder, be tilted if they got stunned out of being able to go for a portal. He instantly knew.
I don't know how to say your name.
And that was the only
Is it Lysolis? Appreciate the massive 3 months. Hi, Jay3. I just saw a video that reminded me of you because it was a wig store.
You would think,
and you know, you're bald.
Navi probably won, right? No, it's not the case. It was Virtus Pro who turned it around, even with the stat lines that they showed.
Mods!
Yeah, Virtus Pro were just so
Mods!
good at disjointing Navi's dives. Sparker on the Elsa being able to hammer in the damage, holding off Navi's front line from main so that they couldn't get the split approach, hounding down Virtus Pro's backline. And like Saipei, we talked about it, went down during the Sound Extraction coming on through from Navi, with God of Mischief still in hand, is able to come back in. Virtus Pro get a second portal off into just being able to put bodies back onto the point, and he gets to use the God of Mischief there for Virtus Pro to be able to hold on, and it's huge play as well to the whole of Virtus Pro's team.
It doesn't even look like that Virtus Pro should have won, bro. Look at the stats difference. Taro is 15-3, Durkee was 13-5, Jaro is 16-3. Like 8-6 on Nevix, 9-4 on Finzi, 8-6 on Sparker.
Strange Swap actually gets Eye of Agamotto off, which stuns onto Terra, and Navi just are not able to pick up the eliminations onto Virtus Pro, but I think we're in for a very weird and wonderful, whimsical, some could say, ban draft when we head to Convoy, because I think we're all expecting
the loser is not out of the tournament. No, Chad. This is
the opinion of, for the first time, maybe the first save for both of these teams. It's still a Vanguard, but do we think Is it the Penny Parker?
I don't know. I mean, Ryan, help us like figure this out. Are they gonna go for the one-sided penny? We've seen it before, and it actually worked out well for Navi. I mean, do we see it happen here again?
There's no way that the people I've played this game with, clambering from bronze and silver, where Penny Parker's had like a 60+% win rate since the beginning of it. Yeah, I mean, like, there's no way that those players
okay. They're talking about Penny, chat, but Penny is one of those characters that I think are really good on a lot of first point maps.
I've seen him play Museum of Contemplation. And like, it's a great map for Navi. We're really expecting them to go there because that's where they consistently like to go.
I think Penny is like Penny is like, you guys played Overwatch. Penny is like Torbjorn. You played Torbjorn on a lot of first point maps, but as soon as they capture first point, then you switch off, right? I think Penny is like that character. You play on first point, it's really good for the first point, but as soon as you lose that first point, then I think you have to switch off.
There is that asterisk to it, but also you want to make sure that you get some good experience against VP because Crook said yesterday, these teams haven't scrimmed for a good bunch because they're in the same group.
Yeah, likely on opposite sides of the bracket, depending on how things turn out.
I'm surprised Penny is working even in pro play. I think Penny's a really good character, like I said on first point. First point, you deny a lot of area. It's very hard to sometimes destroy that Penny nest, and you hide like a lot of the mines. The mines are a big problem, and she's really good at that 4-second stun. Is it 4 or 3-second stun? She has a stun that's a few second cooldown, so it's really good in my opinion.
See how much the game can change.
Is it 3?
All stay the same in some of these cases. Navi versus Virtus Pro. I mean, a good portion of these series like have been like maybe a map traded either way, but it's been a while since we've seen a full best of 3 be played out from these two teams.
I tell you what, I am somewhat disappointed that Virtus Pro versus Navi was not earlier, because can you imagine if they played the Penny Parker and all the teams realized, wait, this is actually really good. Yeah. We could have had a whole stage, a whole group stage of Penny Parker uptime. As it won't be first save Penny, it will be first save Black Cat yet again for Virtus Pro as Museum of Contemplation. We've already established very strong dive-heavy map with a lot of
okay, I don't think Navi is going to be trolling anymore, chat. I think they're going to try hard here. So, we're going to be probably able to see
if the Black Cat does not work out.
If Virtus Pro wins this, bro, I don't know. I'm taking my shirt off. I don't know.
I mean, that helped a lot for Virtus Pro. That was one of the priorities that they wanted to try to like get and hold on to. They don't really care about the Devil Dinosaur, but I don't know if
they're going to ban White Fox, right?
Actually, in like banning it out towards the end. Would this be Penny?
Ban White Fox. You can ban Mantis. You can ban. There you go, White Fox. And then they're gonna save what? Probably they could save Phoenix for themselves. They could save. They could save Mantis, yeah, or Daredevil.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
Yeah, it was what, Ecstatic or Dusty, right? Invitational.
I think so. I mean, it was like consistently throughout the year, just thrown in on stuff like Midtown, but it has been left open here. But it is Navi.
Yo, what's up, TTK? Is that how you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're having a great day.
For this attacking side, unless things are going to get really weird. But the fact that there's no one-sided Phoenix is actually an aid for Virtus Pro because I think Terra's been doing monstrous work on it. He's not going to get that chance this time.
Yeah, but what there is Mantis, Loki available on the side of Na'Vi, and despite Virtus Pro going for a save on the Luna, taking Terra's Phoenix off the table means that
me and Jay3 think Luna should be deleted. Whoa, don't include me in that. So I like playing Luna.
This is going to be a
I do feel like her left click is a little strong for damage.
Which means that you would maybe think that they're going to put
hitting a freeze on a flanker is really satisfying. Or hitting a freeze on like a Star-Lord in the air that's ulting. Oh my god.
And sort of scout Virtus Pro's defense before deciding to fully commit to what they want.
The one good thing I would say is that Penny has been getting some absurdly good skins for the longest time, and now we actually get to see them in play.
This skin for Penny is actually insane, and they're running Penny again. I like it.
Devil Dinosaur, but Navi not actually running it. I think like they know that the Dino is much more of a target for the Penny to be able to take down.
So wait, the nests don't have to be like right on top of each other or actually connected to connect. They can have like a little gap between them and it's still connected.
Likely going to stall Navi's approach.
Feels as well like you've got the like Deadpool Vanguard and the Emma Frost for Navi, which is very good into Devil Dinosaur, but also into Penny because there's very little barriers to actually block this out. So Virtus Pro have sort of shoved away all of these like pesky paths that Navi are trying to go down, but there is still some progression being made.
The Gundam skin for Penny is the best. I think this skin is the best for Penny.
Nevix is doing such a great job on the Dino, peeling Navi's players. Every time they try to flank with this Vanguard Deadpool Star-Lord, one just gets bled into bite and chomp and
so what he's doing is actually crazy. That huge like trail of mines going over there, that's cool.
In Virtus Pro's backline,
Very smart.
Fi's in Navi's right now.
Oh, he's actually been ushered away as Terra tried to predict where this Black Cat was going to come from, but Thai has been just as slippery as ever. Has the option to switch over to the Daredevil if it is a little bit more shoved down
what's up,
in his way. But Rajaro finding a pick onto Nevix makes the lack of barriers very costly for this front line as Virtus Pro trying to set up, haven't built up those ultimates just yet, might actually have a little bit more than what they bargained for as Terra is trying to carve through them with the Elsa, who has had a superb amount of play rate today so far. She's still very much in contention with what these duelists want to be doing, to the point the Spark has got it on the other side and an Apex Predator.
Yeah, ban Hammer from Trust Me used defensively against Vi so that the Black Cat can't hound the backline down when Navi are pushing their front line forward. They don't want to have to give up resources to have to peel back for their strategists, which means that Virtus Pro will try to get a strange TP off.
Well, there you go. Navi's looking a little, they don't look like they're trolling anymore, chat.
Just trying to keep things trucking along for Navi.
Is Kingsman in any of these teams?
At least they're able to get things going, but for Virtus Pro, how much are they realistically looking to change here?
No.
Well, Jerky goes on to the Daredevil, which will be really good at marking Thigh's movements. Terra has the Apex Predator as well, so if Virtus Pro get baited into brawling, both of these Elsa ultimates being up could be the difference maker
he doesn't
for the
play
team to be able to
professionally.
walk out on top.
To see if they can fight a little bit more in the end, but now it's just a case
Plus, I think
of,
he's in school.
The
so.
Elsa's just picking pot shots at each other. We've seen so many of these games consistently get stuck here in the end over on Museum of Contemplation. But an Apex Predator.
Why aren't you in any of these teams?
Me? Bit more for Virtus Pro. They're just trying to find these
it's only a $3 million tournament, chat. I don't do anything less than 50 million.
Fight, which is why Navi have to wait for the Luna, but that means that the Luna's left alone and Spawn could potentially be camped or forced into using Fate of both worlds for survivability. Fate with Kumeho Unleashed tries to let Navi live, but boxed up into a small space against Virtus Pro. They'll start to chug away with a lot of extra sustainability with Saipei's ult into Fight's calling card.
Also, a lot of these teams have a height requirement. I don't fit the height requirement.
It's more of a clambering, I suppose, in how this approach is trying to come in from the Black Cats, but the elimination
gotcha.
with Virtus Pro means that there's at least a chance to hold
on to it.
Nice.
Virtus Pro's showing. You know, I think Virtus Pro didn't win last game. I think it's just that Navi trolled a little too hard, and that's why they lost. But Virtus Pro's showing a little bit of a life right here.
Navi, like, we know we're going to get boxed into our own spawn. We know that Virtus Pro will give us zero space to be able to develop angles for our Elsa. So it's time to break out Triple Strategist, Loki, Mantis, Punisher.
See what kind of dive they can go for. Can they get the pick before the peel is going to come in? Not quite, but the invisibility has at least been bought up. See if they can get a little bit more money off of Loki, whose clones still have it in their back pocket, so that's not ideal. But Terra finding two suddenly means that Virtus Pro haven't really got this chance to build up whatever resources they have. Everybody's just been sent all the way back to spawn.
Nice.
I mean, this is front to back. Navi don't care about the dive. Dive does not interest them. What they want to do is walk their Punisher forward with the Mantis damage boost and rip through Virtus Pro's front line, which is exactly what they're able to do. Virtus Pro now scrambling to try to get a recontest. Nevix should be able to dive on to the objective, but Finzy's already fallen, and Virtus Pro now down one of the Vanguards to soak up the damage from the Punisher, likely going to be just trying to stall for time as much as they can.
At least there's a health pack to pick up from 5, but this is Virtus Pro again on the back foot. But we saw just how well they
shotgun only Punisher. Let's get it. Nice sleep, so you couldn't use his
However, this might be a little bit step beyond their expectations. The touch is still there actually for Virtus Pro to be holding on.
You know what?
Only briefly.
Punisher's ult is useless. I agree.
To make sure he gets across
it looks like he's gonna swap anyways.
To be sending himself straight to spawn to change up.
To what?
One of my favorite things watching this though is that something that you really don't see in your ranked games. A lot of these pro players play like, let's say, a Punisher or some character for like the first point or second point, but as soon as they they cap the third point and don't have ult or anything, they just switch off.
Tries to just chunk damages into Navi's front line, but without the Mantis damage boost, he could get shredded by Terra.
Well, Fi just making sure the things aren't going. Everybody from Navi is like, wait, Why have we stopped? He does actually get CC'd out. He does get sedated, but luckily he has the cleanse in order to do this. So really, Fi is costing himself a lot of money to try and go for these picks, and it's not really accounting for much. In fact, there's so much peel, he gets sent all the way back as Virtus.pro trying to fight on the objective with their own fate of both worlds. Now Final Judgment and Banhammer, whatever Virtus.pro had, they're going to just try and throw into this fight. You're going up against a Kamiho and a Banhammer on the other side.
Hold on, give me 1 second. I don't think there was a text-to-speech for that or any notification. That's weird.
Have actually been the difference makers. Calling card now for Fi that was a little bit late to the party because of his elimination prior to this is the one attempt to try to claw this back, but it's looking like Navi might be able to finish out here as Virtus.pro have yet to really claim the stall and hold on.
This is a really good push for Navi, man. I don't know about your guys' experience on this map, but pushing the third point, and not just pushing the third point, but pushing it very far in third point is really I think this is the hardest map.
As well as that Soul Resurgence. Nevix can push
the hardest map to cap on.
Rampage force Jerky into having to ult in response, but Finzy's already down.
And also, yeah, that Midtown map is actually very hard too.
Going to go for the copy over and get the fate of both worlds to see if that can really let this Rampage be more of a stampede for Virtus.pro as the Bears are trying to roar back in this one as Navi have made their home ground a Museum of Contemplation. Something for Virtus.pro to ponder potentially in the VOD reviews afterwards, but for now they're still in the moment. They're still fighting for these chances. If it wasn't for the Apex Predator and then also the Rampage on the other side, pulling everybody into the awesome power that Navi have been able to actually put out on his attack. The VP yet to really be able to actually stall and get onto the point itself. They're managing to get these like pixels of presence there to stop this from churning through, but it seems like
they got it right through, right before the
being able to consistently do this. It looks done and dusted. We should be talking in the switch of the sides, Moxie, but Virtus.pro are still finding ways to stall this out, and what was a minute and a half has dropped down to 30 seconds.
Final Judgment from Sparker. If he gets this online and Saipe has regeneration domain to counter punish it, this could actually be Virtus.pro.
Oh, if they kept Sparker up, I think that's actually really bad.
In the face of Punisher, that is not the judgment that you want to be laying down on the line. And now Calling Cards has to be the thing to try and stall it out in the end. Sparker, at least, he's just going to come right out of spawn and still have the ultimate. It wasn't interrupted, and you've almost got a Rampage for Neville.
Where's Sparker at?
He's gone extinct. He's been taken down by the Master Hunter that is Terra over on this Elsa.
Oh, poor Sparker, bro. They capped. Hey, they capped in overtime, but hey, they fully capped, man.
This map in EMEA, and Navi's managed to make it 2.
Yeah. The second team to be able to fully finish
also,
this
Sleepy
map.
Smalls with the massive dono. I have you on my TV, and my girlfriend and I are watching. Donating through my phone. Can you say hi to Tori and surprise her or something funny? We love watching your videos.
With how close Virtus.pro spawns
I could say hi to Tori, but I don't think I can surprise her because I just read that message.
Then they could potentially actually change that full push into a hold on third.
I appreciate it. Hey, couples who watch J3 chat
this map so far.
Together, stay
Trust
together.
me. Like the picks coming on through from the Vanguard Deadpool at the crucial moments when Navi require them have been just chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss indeed, and like his magnum opus meal might be coming up.
Ooh, 5 and 7, 5 and 7, 7 and 7, 7 and 7. Trust me is 20 and 2. Terra's 23 and 4. Level 1 Crook is 16 and 1. Fate is 18 and 1.
Like even when there's no priority with Dino in the draft, as we're sort of seeing, it's just to protect. He has made this newest Vanguard work so well, and everybody can play around him perfectly. New and old.
I do want to see how Navi will defend against Virtus.pro's expected dive, because like that was
I
the
make
main
my boyfriend watch J3 for the Marvel
right?
Rivals
the tempo
drops,
change
and then
on
the other tag is
front to back heavy style composition.
Wrong.
And
Me and my
just
ex
not
used to
caring
watch J3
about
and we
the
broke
dive.
up after 8
now
years.
That you're on the defense, you'll get the opportunity to
That
stand
is
out, and I like the
crazy.
fact that
8
Virtus.pro don't go
years?
for dive. They go for front to back.
That is a
themselves.
long ass time, bro.
Now, Jean Grey to break some of these deployables, certainly when you're looking at not only the Loki, but certainly like Penny Parker in this rate, so much pressure goes into actually making sure that these generators can't be set up and just allowed to snowball for the defensive side to just grow and eat away at Virtus.pro's chances on the attack. But Navi sitting comfortably right now as we're watching Terra just sort of take these shots almost halfway of having an Apex Predator. But how much of this focus is going to go on him?
Ooh, that's a great Spectral Surge setup from Fate, who's playing a very pesky off angle. If anyone from Virtus.pro detaches from the main fight and challenges him, he'll just TP away. The fact that Virtus Pro as well have to have both the Pun and the Moon Knight to match the Elsa's damage because of the Mantis damage boost, but they've done a good job at getting onto main. The problem is that they just don't have ults to be able to brute force forward just yet. Yes, they've got Hand of Khonshu, but Nevic's no
Jay,
ult.
I made you lasagna for dinner. You can eat it by yourself. It's fine. Thank you, though.
Virtus Pro back yet more time.
It seems like Virtus Pro want to sort of copy what Navi were doing on this attacking side, right? Like go for stuff like the Emma, go for Groot. You don't have those many barriers, so you can charge up these ultimates very quickly. But it's just still like Navi are using the terrain to such an advantage.
What the hell? I watch you, and my boyfriend always says you watching the Marvel Rivals manly.
Absolutely huge. Now that Navi don't have a duelist, Virtus Pro
I feel like your boyfriend might be threatened a little bit by me. I didn't even do anything.
Going, we're coming to you. Don't worry about it. This bus is not going anywhere. So this objective has been stalled out. Something that Navi have been perfect at doing.
The hell did I do, bro?
Today, so far in this series, you got the copy over at least to go for another fate of Soul Resurgence.
I'm just living my life, bro.
As level 1 Crook has copied
Tutter,
over to
don't
Jerky.
laugh.
The triple strategists, 2 of which are about to have their ultimates online for Navi, so this stall seems to be going on. And the copies for Virtus Pro, they go for their own fate of both worlds with a copy and then use it in tandem. Hand of Khonshu, Final Judgment, whatever Virtus Pro have, they used it as quick as they could.
I think Virtus Pro might have used a little, maybe a little too many ultimate abilities. Now they used, holy shit, I think they used, what, 5 ultimate abilities right there, chat? Look at Navi. Navi still has 3 ults
to play with. This is not done, Ryan. This could still be full hold.
No, and then because everybody went down at the same time for Navi, it means that everybody came back at the same time. But trust me, going down is a pretty big step. But Soul Resurgence is now going to be used from Navi, the original, the OG. Kamiho is going to follow straight back up from Fate as he finds the revenge over onto Sparker. And Fight switch over to Moonlight.
I think Virtus Pro. Nah, see, this is exactly why I think Navi trolled that last game. They're pushing them back to their spawn, chat.
Onto the first part of the checkpoint and the second part of the map, but all the way back to spawn.
Too many ults. Virtus Pro used too many ults when Navi still had the distance to get a strange TP stall. Saipei trying to build up God of Mischief. Fi actually off of the Moon Knight onto the Black Cat, just wanting to get an off angle onto Navi's back line, try and chunk down one of them. As Finzi will provide the room to walk, like you've got Sonic Seduction to be able to break force this fight.
Also, you don't have to worry about the penny on the other side. As Trust Me came through the portal with Strange over on Venom, but there goes Rajaro. Just there's no chance to use that Rampage. CC'd into the nth degree. And maybe if I can show why this priority over on Black Cat could be the difference maker. He's trying to find the targets, but just look at how well Navi are playing off of each other. The peel is just too much. Portal out.
Oh, goodbye on that portal, dude. That was sick.
The fight. But Trust Me has found himself leapt into the fray. He's been CC'd again.
And he put down that thing on the Venom so the Venom couldn't swing away. Bro, this guy's insane.
Rampage outside Seduction is going to stop this storm through from Rajaro and the Devil Dinosaur and turn it more into a trot at most. Final Judgment mostly focusing on the newest Vanguard. Hasn't quite picked him up yet, but in the end does so. Seems that Virtus Pro at least going to move on to the second part of this map on Museum of Contemplation. Eventually, you'd assume, because now Navi is still stalling this out again, and suddenly they're finding all of the picks. It seemed that we were moving on to part 2, but this might be just a standalone series as Virtus Pro are losing out
solo ult him, bro. Solo ult him.
It's just a bit of a faux pas as now the Rampage is going to turn things back into their standard. There's still so much time
what?
They have to
Terra!
And
He just said by the eye of it, just fell over,
might
bro.
not be that necessary considering the point was touched, but they still have to finish the map, Moxie. That was just the first checkpoint.
That was just the first checkpoint, which means so little time on second, even less time on third, unless Virtus Pro does full snowball this fight. Like, they're pushing forward, trying to take as much space as possible so that Navi can't get past and stall.
It is crazy seeing how
even actually swapped onto
Virtus Pro is struggling, dude.
Pro,
this is something that we never usually see.
To be able to match up with Terra. Driddler's Fate of both worlds, built up with how long the overtime fight went, should be able to overwhelm Soul Resurgence, but you're very worried about Navi having Kumeho in the pocket as well.
Want to make up as much time as you can. Soul Resurgence is going to be used on the defensive side, feeling enough pressure, wanted to go first in this one, but the Fate of Both Worlds is going to be used as a way to keep everybody going, and you have a copy that could either go for that, or if you want to try to like leap across, go over to Fire that switched over to the Mantis and get a Soul Resurgence to push things on. You might not even need to use either because you found these picks of Banhammer. Trust me, he's been the difference maker. Can he find an elimination to curve?
Damn, wait, he used his ult and he got shredded through that. What the?
Doesn't look like it. Has to be a fast reset and not a chance for a portal at all.
Ooh, they'll try to touch though. Crook's close enough to ult. Virtus.pro are expecting it. Saipe even actually goes for a very early copy onto Dridro to make sure he doesn't get cut, but they're using it to pocket Final Judgment.
Yeah, just use it as a little bit extra, and so the Kamiho was pretty much sent back with the tail between the legs.
Ooh, nice tracking. Ooh.
Control of that
Ooh.
one.
Uh-oh, chat, we have ourselves a game, bro. They have 2.5 minutes for third phase, bro.
In second, but still,
from getting full hold to
so
pushing him all the way to third point. Uh-oh.
They're trying so hard to get this pick off onto Terra. They know he has all regeneration domain even actually invested from Saipe for Sparker to be able to try to peek the angle, but Terra actually makes off like a bandit in the night, closing up the distance, gets spotted thankfully by Finzi. That could have been devastating for this position of the Apex Predator, but it still finds so many players from Virtus.pro, and all of their momentum comes to a grinding
There goes all of
halt.
Virtus.pro.
I mean, it was spotted and it was attempted to be peeled for. Finzi managed to call it, and they should have probably had in mind that Terra would have that ultimate, so it was just a case of him standing out, catching onto multiple. The rest of the team's going to eat up.
This is not good for Virtus.pro's time bank as well.
Edward, I don't know what's wrong with my notifications, chat. My notifications have not been popping off.
I
appreciate the massive 5 gifted subs on YouTube, Edward.
The options that they use here,
appreciate
Navi
it.
more than happy to trade because it will just come at the cost of time.
You have to sort of expect that there's just going to be a pick and a neutral, but in the end, it's that Banhammer being used first, and in an instant, Jerky finds that elimination. Now, Soul Resurgence is used, a player down, so this could be costly. You have to force out some of these ultimates, and it feels that that's the main thing. Crook won't have it, and it seems like it's going to be a fight loss for NAVI, for Virtus.pro, but now they're dedicating the Rampage as well. I guess the spawn's that close to them that they might be able to actually punish this distance that NAVI have to try to close up, and they do. Rajaro sent back to spawn. He's going to be a while out of this fight, and the rest of NAVI are sense packing, really. They're disengaging hard.
Yeah. They use Rampage once they know Crook's ult is done because they have to have something to force Navi back and allow the rest of the team space to breathe. Like, Dridro was just being picked off the clock by Terra on the off angle.
Okay, so to be honest with you, I think they had 2 fights. If they take a very aggressive first fight, bait out ults, save their ults, and then go in the next fight with all their ults, they should be able to win this game.
There's still one more fight that you have to be able to win through.
Oh, Final
Nope, they're committing. They're committing.
Boost as well from the inspiration of fire. And could it be enough inspiration to actually make this a map of the ages? Not really.
Oh!
The elimination, and the Apex
Terra!
pulled everybody off of the map.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
The
That's game.
might be sent
That's game,
hibernating
bro.
underground because Terra is just above them all. It seems that Navi's going to stop out this map in the end unless there's some crazy touches from Virtus.pro. But that's it. Navi win out this series and #1 out of Group A.
A Glartrox for the ages, truly. And
What
a
chat?
ages.
What
Navi's
a
so
series,
happy
bro.
to
be honest with you, I think it could have ended after game 2.
And I mean, it's Museum
but
of
hey,
Contemplation,
what
so
a
when overtime
series
hits, people
nonetheless,
have to be
man.
in the raft, or
I can't wait for the match interview, bro. The match interview is probably going to be good.
No strange portal
Oh
through,
shit!
and Navi
I blame
are
Jay for
able
losing
to
my money.
end
How
the
are you going to
series
blame
with the
me?
win.
I told you.
That was basically picture.
Navi wins. I told you. How are you going to blame me?
When Elsa debuted, if you notice and go back to see that reveal,
317 people for 8.2 million.